It should be. Oh, I didn't start the intro. Let's start the intro. Start the intro.
So, start off with Easter stuff?
Can do.
Yeah, because I got a good thing to read here, and then but I think it's very topical. Oh, the American Robot Wars, right?
Oh, is that American Robot
Yeah, I've not watched any of American Robot Wars, so I can't really say anything about it.
Wars? No,
Yeah. Well, it looks a lot like the weapon Pussycat had, so I can imagine that probably flung out and smacked into the polycarbonate of the walls.
Oh, is that probably why they banned it in case it smashed the polycarbonate?
Well, they had this rule in Robot Wars that you're not allowed weapons which are going to hurt the audience, because it's generally frowned upon to start like maiming people.
People get a bit upset with dead audience members, don't they?
Especially when children are the sort of people that will be in the audience of Robot Wars. So Pussycat got disqualified because its angle grinder disc was well, angle grinders themselves weren't banned, but it had a disc in it which was likely to snap because it was tungsten carbide.
Yeah.
And so when it smacked against a robot, I think it was Razor it was fighting against, its cutting disc snapped in half, and shards of the shrapnel from the disc lodged into the polycarbonate. So the polycarbonate did its job, but at the same time, it was just like, well, look, we can't always guarantee the polycarb will do its job. What if that had gone into some 5-year-old's throat? And it looks like this Deep Six robot has got a similar sort of the disc lodged into the polycarbonate. So the polycarbonate is for the same reason you're not allowed machine guns was Robot Wars frowned upon to start. Well, they had this rule in Robot Wars that you're not smacked into the polycarbonate. We live.
Yeah,
the American Robot Wars.
Just having listened to the stream, so everybody's going to be.
So I got a good thing to read. Oh here. Right, yeah, we're live both on the Rumble and YouTube. It's very topical. So we're not going to say
so you're repeating yourself.
I know, because you're listening back to it, so that's good. But yeah, happy Easter, everybody! Right. It's Christ has risen.
Oh, that's me.
Yeah, I've not watched any. You can hear yours, so I can't really. Well.
I'm just going to take the edge off you, and I think that should sort of.
I was going to say that's why you should listen. That's why you should listen back, because then you can go, oh yeah, my voice doesn't sound anywhere near as loud as Hobbit's.
So Rumble Studio should show me the chats.
Yeah.
We got 2 people on the. Although that might be me. Let's see if that stops. Oh, we got 4 on the tubes. We got four on the tubes. And we got 1 on the Rumbles. Although that might be me, I'm not sure. So, oh yeah, Trafford Lee. Oh yeah, it's showing me Happy Easter, says Trafford Lee. So it's showing me that. So in Rumble Studio, I'm trying out Rumble Studio, by the way, in case you hadn't guessed.
Yes.
Rumble Studio, actually, you get the chat from both chats. So you'll have a YouTube. You'll have a YouTube thing, and then I assume there's a Rumble one if someone chats in the Rumble. So yeah.
Right. So I heard an interesting thing about Easter, and I didn't know this. They do talk about it, but they kind of prefer people didn't know this, if that makes sense. So we all know Jesus is real. And some people doubt he was real. But
well, even if you're an atheist, you have to admit he was a historical person, don't you?
Well, that's the
thing.
There's
no like, you can't say Jesus isn't real, can you? Because there's like literal evidence that he is. So whether he's the son of God, that's some people say yes, some people say no.
I told a friend of mine who's atheist about the letter Pontius Pilate wrote to Emperor Titus. And they're saying, it could be a 10th century forgery. It's like, well, it's not, is it? The fact is, it's really not. but they attribute it to it. Like they say the Shroud of Turin, they say, "Oh, it's a medieval forgery." It's like, no, it's a real Shroud of
Well, there
Turin.
was one study about it. There was a study about it, bro. So it must be true.
Yes, the study where we're going to do a forensic investigation of how old is this cloth.
Yeah.
Oh, it's as old as the medieval forgery it claims to be. It's like, right, and what part of the cloth did you study? Well, we studied the corner of it, which was restored in medieval times because that's the bit which got burnt, right? Well, if you like studied the other parts of it, the bits where it touched Jesus,
Well, I
and
was hoping they'd probably say something like, "I was hoping you weren't going to ask that particular question."
yeah,
To quote
yeah.
to quote Monty Python.
Yeah, because it turns out when you analyze the other shroud of the parts of the Shroud of Turin, yeah, it's 2,000 years old, and also no, they've got no idea how Jesus's likeness is etched into it. Because I heard someone said, "Well, look, anytime we try and replicate it, whether it's dye or ultraviolet light or heat or anything, it always ends up destroying the cloth." And however Jesus' likeness on it, there's no damage to the cloth itself. It's truly supernatural because we don't have an explanation for how that's possible. Which I thought, I always thought it was ultraviolet light. I thought Jesus, being a being of radiant light, the ultraviolet bit etched a pattern into the cloth, but it wasn't that.
Yeah,
So,
ultraviolet light's really bad for stuff like cloth and that, though, isn't it?
well, I've got like shampoo bottles in the bathroom, and the bit which faces the sun, even though they're like less than a year old, is bleached in comparison to the bit which doesn't.
Yeah.
Some of the shampoo bottles they're older than a year. You can barely read the text on the sunward side.
Mm.
So this is the thing, right? I heard this story, and I've got the Talmud bit here as well, and not just the Talmud, by the way. I've got some stuff that what's his name, Josephus wrote as well. He's a Roman historian. So in the Babylonian Talmud from 70 AD, we got the Tractate Yoma 39b, and it's been translated from demon speech into English. So here we go. Our rabbis taught during the last 40 years before the destruction of the temple. So the temple was destroyed in 70 AD. So if you subtract 40 years from that, you get 30 AD. Okay. Now, by the way, they say it was most likely Jesus died on the 3rd of April, 33 AD. So, the lot did not come up in the right hand. I don't know what the lot is, so we can find out what that is. But anyway, the lot didn't come up in the right hand, nor did the crimson-coloured strap become white. Now, the crimson-coloured strap, I've heard another thing, that it was a piece of string, and they tie it to the scapegoat. And then after, like, the rabbi would bugger the scapegoat and it'd wander off into the desert, they tie this piece of string to it, and the piece of string was crimson. And then eventually, what would happen is, as the scapegoat went out, the piece of string would go from red to white, and that symbolised all their sins being washed away. Like, oh look, the string's not red with the blood of Christian children that we've been drinking. It's gone white now. So, the Lord has accepted our. Oh no, hang on, they wouldn't have been Christian children then. No, it would have just been neighbours' children. But anyway, that stopped working. The string never went white, which I always thought was very strange because it's like, well, hang on, aren't they just like rolling this up into a piece of string? But anyway, it never turned white. Nor did the westernmost light shine. Now, the westernmost light, this was like a light in the temple, which was always supposed to be lit, and it's how they would light the other lights from it. And the doors of the Hekal would open by themselves. Now, this is the temple doors, but it's like the innermost. So, is that the Holy of Holies? But either way, the temple doors kept opening in the night. So the doors of the Hekal would open by themselves until Rabban Yohanan B. Zakkai rebuked them,
I do
saying,
struggle with those Hebraic names.
yeah, saying, Hekal, Hekal, Why wilt thou be the alarm of thyself? I know about thee that thou wilt be destroyed, for Zechariah ben Iddo is already prophesied concerning thee. Open thy doors, O Lebanon, that the fire may devour thy cedars, and that's in Zechariah. What these signs mean in context. So the westernmost light getting snuffed out and not shining. The western lamp of the temple menorah, the one that was supposed to stay lit continuously and kindle the others, stopped burning reliably. This was a major negative shift from earlier eras where it had miraculous staying power. Then the temple doors opening by themselves. Now, these were heavy temple doors. They're big slabs of stone, not like some rickety barn door where when it starts, when Storm David starts blowing, it just pushes the doors in. So
Not
the
like
heavy
a
doors.
Barrett home internal door then.
No, it's not like your safer style UPVC front door
Yeah.
type of doors. It's a proper heavy stone door. It's not going to be open a breeze. Just going to say, right, Storm David, not a very diverse name, especially considering that King Charles III, peace be upon him, is a Muslim.
Yeah.
Maybe they should have named it Storm Muhammad after his favourite prophet.
Oh,
So,
Storm Abdul.
yeah, Storm Iqbal.
Yeah.
Or maybe they could have called it Storm Aisha after the prophet's favourite wife.
Yeah.
But anyway, so the heavy doors of the sanctuary, the Hekal, would swing open on their own, often discovered wide open in the morning after being securely closed at night. Rabban Yohanan ben Zakkai saw this as the temple essentially alarming itself
Was he
about its
Hispanic?
coming
He seems
destruction.
he has enough names to be Hispanic. You notice how Hispanic people have like loads and loads of names, don't they?
Um, uh, don't know. I don't know about the Spanish thing about all the names. Oh, you know how every Brazilian is called De Silva?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like it's like oh, you're Brazilian, your name, therefore your name's De Silva. It's like all Sikhs are called Singh.
Yeah.
It's just a thing. Like they'll have other names, but they're all De Silva.
It's not like
And
the I can't remember which tradition it is. Where the surname is the Christian name.
well,
Didn't they do that in Deep Space Nine with the Bajorans?
so like the Russians do this thing where your middle name is always your mother or your father's name, and
Yeah.
then your son of or daughter of. So like the Icelandics only do it with no, the Icelandics do it as well. Ah, yeah, but the Icelandics will use it as a surname, so they'll say like your Simon's son or your or your Hilda's daughter, and that would be your surname. But now, in the case of the Russians, let's say your father's called Bob, your name would be something like Hemi Bobovich Gray. If your
Okay.
dad's name was Bob. Yeah.
Anovich means son of.
Yeah, and then if you're let's say your mother was called Hilda and your name's Mary, then you'd be Mary Hilda because obviously it's daughter of Hilda. I don't know why these are the first names that come to my mind. So anyway, here so we'll go a bit more about these Rabbi Yen Ben Zimbam Zimzibzam. Yeah, so the ominous changes began exactly 40 years before the Second Temple was destroyed in 70 AD. So it started around 30 AD and continued right up to the end.
You
And
mean
there's a
Bibbidi Bobbidi Boo?
yeah,
You remember that song from Bedknobs and Broomsticks?
I
Don't you?
do, yeah.
Yeah.
A parallel account appears in the Jerusalem Talmud, Yoma 6:3, which mentions similar details. The western light going out, the crimson thread not turning white, the lot always coming up in the left hand, and the gates being found wide open in the morning. I don't know what the lot is. I think what it is when they, like the rabbi digs his hand into baby entrails, it always comes up in the left hand, and that's bad. And the gates being found wide open in the morning. You can read the full section on the sites like Sepharia for the original Hebrew alongside translations. So then I thought to myself, isn't that around about the same time the Oracle at Delphi stopped working? And it's like, yeah. So 30 to 70 AD window lines up with the broader ancient reports of pagan oracles, including Delphi, losing power or falling silent in the same general era. Writers like Plutarch, which was in the late 1st and early 2nd century AD, discussed why many oracles had largely ceased functioning by this time, although he attributed it more to demographic and cultural shifts in Greece rather than a single pinpoint event in 40 AD. Some later traditions, Jewish, Christian, and others, explicitly connect the silencing of the oracles to events around 30 AD.
Mm.
The Delphic oracle itself had a long decline but wasn't abruptly shut down until later centuries under Roman Christian rule. And would you like to hear some more about
Oh,
this?
actually, Hobbit, I forgot to say. Oh, you haven't watched the video. I haven't watched the end of it yet. I was gonna reference a video that I'll put into Richie's video submissions, but you haven't watched it yet.
No, like I said, no. Look, YouTube is the mains, and Rumble
Yeah,
is for afters,
yeah,
and Sundays is my afters time.
yeah.
Yeah, but hopefully, Richie was just like, "Wow, Hobbit, these are really cool videos. Thank you so
Yeah,
much for these
that was
submissions."
definitely what he said.
I am glad he said that, because I was going to have words with him about, look, Richie, the stream has been going downhill lately, and I've been trying to improve things here.
Yeah, he
So
was appreciative of your of you wanting to change
I
things.
believe the deliberate word he said was "thank you."
Yeah,
I could imagine him saying that. He'd be like, "Hobbit, thank you. Always great stuff."
he did say my missus was cool in the
Oh
Discord
yeah, because it's Saved by the Bell. Yeah, I
because the
read
Saved
that
by
bit.
the Bell reference.
Yeah,
She was dead chuffed by that.
yeah, that's good. Yeah. Um. So anyway, there's this guy called Shimon Sadik,
Yeah.
and the reason I say Sadik is his name is uppercase H, lowercase a, uppercase T, and then Zadik. So, I mean, what sort of name do you know has like two like uppercase letters in it?
Is that like Arg?
Yeah.
Arg Kasplats, Ginyar, die you Trojan big dogs.
Oh, I thought it's when you were saying like, oh look, he was so desperate he used his kidney as punctuation. It's like no, I think they just kind of fell out. Yeah. But yeah, so Jesus basically said, later, fags, and I'm out of here. And he ascended into heaven after defeating all the demons of hell.
Obviously, Jesus was talking about cigarettes when he said that.
He was saying, I could murder a Lambert and Butler right
Yeah.
now. Yeah, because that was his favourite brand. And he's been around since 2000 years, that one. And do you think to yourself, like Jesus, would you have been more of a fag guy or cigar guy? Was he smoking Hamlets or
Oh,
Lambert and
definitely a
Butlers?
pipe. I think he'd have been trying to bring the pipe back.
Pipe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can imagine him for some reason. I imagine him with a fag on the go. I think he's a man of the people. Is our Lord, and I could
Dispensing justice in his holy armour come the end times. Is that what you're saying?
I'm thinking he probably he'd smoke Lambert and Butlers or Marlboro Lights. They seem to be very popular amongst the people.
Yeah.
I mean, I personally am a Marlboro Red sort of guy because I like full flavour, but or Davidoff Reds, they're good. I haven't smoked a cigarette since 2000. Well, actually, no, I did smoke a cigarette last year. But the last time I properly bought myself a pack of fags was in 2023, actually, and I haven't smoked them all. But before then, it was 2017. And I bought myself Davidoff Reds, and I really liked them, but I gave them away because I thought, no, I'm on holiday now, and I still think about how much I enjoyed them. But yeah, it just like all this pagan stuff stopped working when Jesus rose from the dead and ascended into heaven. And it's like you get these people saying, "Oh, well, he never existed," and blah blah blah. It's like, yeah, but you mentioned around about the time of his ascension, that's when your temple stopped working. Funny that, that's a funny coincidence. That is Simon Hatzadik. So yeah, happy Easter, everybody. I hope you were in church today. I was. I was in the. It's absolutely jam packed. Do you know? I think my next door neighbour was in the church with me because I was coming down from the choir, and he said, "Oh, hello, Hobbit's real life name." And I was like, "Oh, hello, you. I'm sure I know you from somewhere." And he's smiling at me. And the thing is, though, my next door neighbour's got a Scottish accent, but I don't actually remember the accent he spoke with. Weird, weird. Oh, and one of the parishioners says if I go to the local pub on a Monday, he'll buy me a pint. Uh, So I seem to have made a good impression there. Right. Did you have a good Easter?
Yeah, weren't too bad. Weren't too bad. Did a big Sunday dinner today.
Oh, very nice. Yeah. Well, my Sunday dinner was, and I really enjoyed it, by the way. So I'm not saying that it was like I didn't do a roast. I made myself a carrot and coriander soup, and then a really nice cheese and ham sandwich to go with it. And I know that doesn't sound fancy or anything, but I felt it was really good, and I was happy with that.
Did Sunday dinner all the trimmings.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, my friend, he came over last week, and he was like, "Come on, we're going to do a roast." And I said, "All right, I've got gammon, chicken, and I've got sausages in the freezer." And he says, "Well, let's do it with sausages then." So we made stuffing, Yorkshire puddings, roast potatoes. I did some beans as well, and some peas. I made a gravy, and he was very happy with the gravy. And yeah, and then I just had like roast dinner leftovers for 3 days afterwards. It was,
Well, this is Andy. My mouse buttons have stopped working.
oh wow. So I'm listening to Rumble, and it's just like, would you like to hear what you were saying like 7 minutes and 20 seconds ago? Because I thought, I'll come join in on the Rumble stream and say, "Hi, folks. You're better than those YouTube," and I'm going to write a word which we're not allowed to say on YouTube anymore, but we are when we're talking about what cigarettes you enjoy smoking at certain points. Uh, More like uh, India. Uh, oh dear, those are some very incendiary words on the Rumble stream that can't be repeated on the YouTube one.
Oh, that's all
So
right. A control alt delete. A control alt delete seems to have sorted it out. I just
what?
realised I'd done control alt delete, and in Linux if you do that, it says, "Oh, your computer will turn off in 60 seconds."
You have 60 seconds to
I thought,
comply.
but my mouse button isn't working. Oh shit!
Wait. Are you sure? You sure? Like, okay. Ah, right. So, your version of Linux is different to mine because when I do Control or Delete, it gives me the log out and shutdown options.
No, mine does. If I do it, it says log out. I'll also
Yeah.
automatically be logged out in 60 seconds.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm on Linux Mint and it doesn't do that.
Yeah, I'm in Zorin, the
Yeah.
Bond baddie. Oh, Jojo Gizmo's in.
Yeah. That was that Christopher Walken, Zorin.
Yes,
Yeah.
I had this Silicon Valley factory up my ass.
Mm. And
Joe, Joe
I
remembers
kept
his little bit about having the watch up his ass.
Yes, and I kept it there for you all this time, and your dad wanted you to have it. Oh my
But
God!
I don't
Look,
want that. It's been up your ass. Up your
look,
ass.
look, I've got this video for you, right?
Yeah,
Where are you? You're here. No, yeah, there's the band, all right.
yeah.
Can we put that into the stream? No, no, look, this is a thing,
How do you
right?
engage streamer mode on Discord?
No fucking
I
idea.
don't know because I've never done it myself.
Oh, you're
Yeah, there's no
OBSing
way
it.
I'm putting that message up on YouTube.
Well, look, it's they don't need to read the captions. They just need to see like our Lord like gliding on water.
Yeah,
I mean, look, there he is. He's on the water, right? And he gliding on it, not even walking. So let me just describe this right for viewers on because we will be bringing the podcast back. Right, we've had very clever people working on it day and night, and they're going to put all the episodes up now. So for those of you that listen to our show on the wireless, let me
yeah.
describe
Hopefully,
this.
we can get some more rave reviews from the podcast.
Well, it just you know, if we start putting the episodes up, then we'll get some reviews in, won't we? So,
Yeah.
what this is, right, is it's our Lord, and on the 14th of February 1986, he was at the top of this slide, and what he does is he descends the slide. Now, the thing which I find very interesting about this is our Lord doesn't sit on the slide; he's standing on it, and
And that I
he's
think that's AI, isn't it?
well, no, well, some people say it's AI, but it's actually our Lord. He came back just for one day in 1986, and he goes down the slide, right? And then you see him, he's standing on the water, and he's just gliding across it. And there's this huge plume of water behind him, and then he gets to the other side, and then when he gets to the other side where the water ends, he runs, it runs onto the grass there, and it's incredible. It really is. And I got to say, right, the top comment on it says Pharisees will say it's fake.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Right. Speaking of fake, I'm going to read this story from the Independent because I did have a flick through it, and it's actually got some good information in it. Even though the headline is 620-year-old fake news, scientists prove Turing's shroud is not genuine again. Um, but it does have some good like historical stuff in there and stuff like this. So this is from Adam Lusher, which is an interesting surname. I'm not sure whereabouts it hails from.
Lusher, the Lusher, yeah. Does his family have anything to do with humble dildo salesmen?
And
Or
may do.
uh,
So forensic analysis of possible bloodstains suggests marks could only have been made by someone adopting different poses, not dead Messiah lying still in the tomb before the resurrection. So when do they actually say? So it doesn't mention this in the article. So when was the Turing shroud applied?
I assume it was. I mean, it's Jesus's death shroud, so it must have been applied. But now, here's the interesting thing, right? Crucifixion. It wasn't the only way criminals were executed in Rome or the Roman Empire, but it was reserved for like the worst cases,
What
and it
people
was
like
to
bigger
set
stickers?
yeah, it was to set an example to others. And the fact is, now Pontius Pilate was like, look, as far as I'm concerned, Jesus is carried out his sentence. He was sentenced to 39 lashes because that's the maximum you can do under the Jewish law. Because they're saying if you flog somebody 40 times, it will kill them. And the fact is, if you flog someone
To be fair,
39
it's a bit
times,
more than that in that film, weren't it? Fucking hell, that was
right, right.
excessive, weren't it?
You say it's excessive. That's what they did to our Lord. They did it 39 times, and yeah, if you look at the Roman flagrum, it really is like lined with sharp bones and spikes. It's designed to tear flesh.
Yeah.
So the thing is, there's no guarantee you'll survive 39 lashes from that. But he did, and now the thing is, Pontius Pilate, right, said, look, he's served his sentence, but the Pharisees were still kicking off, saying like, no, we're gonna fucking riot. We'll riot like we did with the Seleucids if you don't execute him. And then Pontius Pilate said, look, I'm going to wash my hands of this affair. Give me a bowl of water right now. He says, you see this? I'm washing my hands of it. This means the blood's on your hands. You fucking asked for this.
Yeah.
You fucking meddlesome Pharisees. And then he
Actually,
said
I
that.
think you'll find that's a 2,000-year-old blood libel, and Pontius Pilate it was actually his fault because he did it.
Yeah, so he was saying, look, his blood's on your hands, right? As far as Roman law's concerned, he served his sentence, but you're kicking off, and because I don't want another fucking riot, because if I do, Titus will have my head, I'm going to do what you say for the peace. As far as I'm concerned, you're condemning an innocent man to death. And by the way, we got a pardoning coming up, so the two candidates ready for pardoning is one is Jesus Christ, and the other one's Barabbas. Barabbas, the rapist
I thought it was
arsonist.
Brian.
Barabbas, the rapist arsonist. Who do you want? We'll have Barabbas, right? Okay, so you're condemning Jesus to death, yeah. And how do you want me to execute him?
What
You want
about
the
Simon, the
crucifix?
Sadducee Wrangler?
Exactly, and they said they said, right, so you want him executed, so in other words, you're a bloodthirsty lot, aren't you? And he says that this definitely won't have repercussions in about 30 years from now when Emperor Titus comes to destroy you all. But that comes later. So you see, yeah, he was crucified. Now, normally what they do is they say, well, that's food for the crows now. You just leave them on the cross until they're picked clean by crows. And Joseph of Arimathea, very rich man, sort of like the Elon Musk of his time, said to us like, look, I'm going to pay you a large sum of money if I can have that corpse and entomb it. And then the Pharisees, I'm using this term here, right? The Pharisees, they still weren't content with this, just like, look, he might not be dead. And it's like, are you sure? Because we stuck him with a spear, and he definitely was fucking dead. I mean, did you not see like the
Well, he's not
massive?
fucking dancing, is he?
Did you see how Christ's wounds like poured forth water, and there was this crack of thunder in the sky? And by the way, your second temple stopped working now. Is this not signs that you have killed our Lord? And by the way, the centurion that struck Jesus with the spear of destiny. His name was Cornelius. He became he converted there and then. So anyway, the Pharisees, they were still like, nah, he might come back. He's faking it. So they said, right, what we'll do.
You never knew the story of the Wandering Jew, did you?
Well, here's the thing, right?
Yeah.
So what they did is they put him in the tomb, and then they rolled this massive boulder on top of it. And then Jesus, like 3 days later, he just sort of neatly lays down his grave clothes. He's got a brand new set of clothes, which he's magicked out thin air. And then that stone, he's like, yeah, he rolls it back like it's nothing. Because at that point, so I'm going to use the Lord of the Rings analogy here, because it's kind of the same thing. You see, Gandalf the Grey died, and then Gandalf the Grey came back as Gandalf the White, a supernatural being. You see, Jesus had died, but then he came back again, and so it was no problem for him to like casually roll apart this boulder as if it was nothing.
Bit like Aslan when he cracked that stone tablet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, all this stuff it's Christian allegory, and that's the other thing as well. Like there were the people. I took my sister to see Hail Mary, which it's a film called Hail Mary, so the clues and the title right. And you've got Christians, and I think this is something with Americans where they've been, I don't know, brain damaged or something. I mean, they do have a lot of fluoride in their water. They were saying, oh, well, Project Hail Mary is not a Christian film. It's like, look, just because they're not spoon feeding you and no, Jesus was sad at that point, doesn't mean it wasn't a Christian film. I mean, like, the protagonist.
The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe is a Christian film.
Yeah, but even more so with Project Hail Mary, like the protagonist is called Dr. Ryland Grace, which I mean already that name's a bit on the nose, and he's a reluctant hero in the same way that Moses was a reluctant hero. It's just like, well, why me? Look, there's much better people. I'm not an astronaut. I'm not this or that. I'm a school teacher.
Didn't you say he even says, why don't you pick my brother? He's better.
Well, that's what Moses said. He
Yeah, I was
said,
going to
look,
say
look,
that's a bit on, that's a bit on the nose, isn't it?
yeah, because like he said to God, I mean, God was like talking directly to him. Says like, Moses, I've chosen you to lead our people out of bondage, and he's like, oh yeah, but God, look, my brother Aaron, he's a much better speaker. Can't you pick him? And it's like, look, this is an important job, God. You shouldn't just leave it to me. And God's like, Moses, I'm not a fucking idiot, right? I know all of you, you know, you lot there, you small hat wearers think I'm a fucking
The Red
idiot.
Sea pedestrians, I believe you can
I know you
safely
Red
call
Sea
them.
pedestrians think I'm a fucking idiot, and that every time you rape a baby, all you have got to do is
Well,
sacrifice a
I'll spoil
chicken,
the
and I
video
won't
that I
know.
put in. Basically, what
Yeah.
they do is during Passover, because they're not allowed to own bread or something. So
Oh God.
because God's a fucking
Oh
retard,
God.
because
Yeah.
God's a fucking retard, he doesn't notice that they temporarily sell it to a guy, and then buy it back after. Like God's too thick to realise any of this is going on.
You see, the bread that's in my fridge. Well, I've closed up the fridge, right, and it's not my bread anymore because I've sold it to a guy. And
Yeah,
you see, I'm just it happens to be in my fridge in my house, but it's not my bread. And then
yeah,
after Shabbat's over, I buy the bread from the guy. I
yeah.
just say I'll buy that bread back for you. You see, so I don't even own this bread. It's not mine. I'm just holding it for someone, Lord. It's not my bread.
God must
It's
be thinking just like Garfield did that time. I'm not. I'm not upset that you're lying to me. It's the credit you give my intelligence that really upsets me.
Well, yeah, again, it's this idea of like you're arguing with God, and God's just like, look, Moses, I've chosen you, right, and that's it. It's gonna be you, whether you want it or not. And in fact, there's this bit towards the end of Exodus, like spoilers if you haven't read a book from a story that's about 4,000 years old. Moses never gets to the promised land because he stopped believing in God, even though God's like I don't know how he's doing this
Was
right,
parting the
but
Red Sea not enough?
so look, parting the Red Sea, yeah, that's part of it. Making manna from heaven, that's part of it.
Oh,
Um,
killing all those Egyptian babies as well.
yeah, the frogs and the locusts, and the oh yeah, and by the way, I am the Lord your God, and I'm talking directly to you, Moses. Oh yeah, but God, I'm not sure if you're real or not. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Well, no. So what there was this bit about, right, is all these the other Red Sea pedestrians. They were having a whinge because they're like, oh, it's really dry and dusty in the desert, and my
And oh
throat is
god, my
parched.
sinuses. Oh god.
Yeah, and it's really not helping my sciatica at all. This is terrible.
All
And
this walking. Oh
ah,
god.
and then so like Moses was like, he was saying, look, God,
To
they're
be
really
fair,
complaining.
that would get you to lose faith pretty quickly, being out in the desert with themons, as Richie would call them.
Yeah, yeah. But you see. So what he was like, look, God, they're really complaining. They want a spa, and they want like slaves that will rub like moisturising cream into their sciatica stuff. And what am I supposed to do? And God says like that magic staff I gave you that turns into a snake occasionally and does magic fucking things. Oh, what, this stuff? Yeah, that stuff, right? If you strike it against that rock over there, it'll break open and the spring will burst forth, and they'll be able to, bathe themselves and have that spa, and the sciatica and all
Is that
that
a bit
go
like that
away.
time in the Quran that Moses hit that rock so hard he bruised it?
Yes, because you can just bruise rocks. Right, so what,
Well,
what he does,
It's still bruised this day. That rock is.
a bruised rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, how does that work?
Well, that's how hard Moses hit it.
Well, that's the thing. So Moses struck this rock, and look, I'm probably going to get this bit wrong, right? But because I only like read this like a few weeks ago, and already I've forgotten it. He strikes this rock, but he does it, and he's all angry. And it's like, there, you fucking happy? You've made me do work on the Shabbat, you fucking useless Pharisees.
People,
Oh no, they haven't been invented yet, the
Red Sea
Pharisees, but
pedestrians.
you Pharisees in training.
Yeah.
And then God said, look, Moses, yes, Lord, you were a bit angry back then, weren't you? He says, yeah. And he says, right, now it's understandable you're angry because you never wanted to be the leader in anything
And
like
you're having
that.
to deal with these people.
Yeah, for 40 fucking years.
Yeah.
But I think your behaviour is unacceptable and it's a breach of the terms and services of holding the rod of destiny. So I'm going to make it a rule, right, that your people are going to get into the promised land, but you'll never set foot in it. It's like, oh, well, that's a bit shit.
Mm.
So yeah, the Project Hail Mary, it's a bit similar to that. I won't spoil it if you haven't seen the film or if you haven't read the book. But Dr. Ryan Grace is actually a very noble hero, despite himself, and it's got a happy ending. So it's not terrible. It has got a happy ending.
So anyway, let's get back to the shroud.
Oh, the Shroud of Turin.
The Turin Shroud is a fake, says the Independent, the lefty rag, the Independent.
Was that written by Will Chamberlain?
Hobbit.
Or Keir
That
Starmer?
is the verdict of Catholic Bishop Pierre d'Arcy. RC? I'll say RC. ARCIS. Who has written to tell the Pope it's a clever sleight of hand by someone falsely declaring that this was the actual shroud in which Jesus enfolded in the tomb to attract the multitude so that money might cunningly be wrung from them. Admittedly, Bishop Darcy was writing in 1390 to Pope Clement VII rather than Pope Francis. That is not exactly new news, Hobbit.
So you're telling me there's like a counterfeit Shroud of Turin? It's not the real Shroud of
Well,
Turin.
hot off the presses from 1390, the RC Bishop says that it was a fake. But since some have refused to believe Bishop's findings or the 1988 carbon dating, what, you don't believe science, do you? You don't believe science? Oh, you science heretic.
Yeah, because the thing is that 1988 study has recently been refuted because they're saying, well, look, there's a key bit of information in this study which you've not addressed. What's that then? Yeah, so the carbon dating, you're only doing it on the corner, which was restored in the medieval period. You're not doing it on the original shroud. And when you do carbon dating in the original shroud, oh look, it's 2,000 years old.
Well, you didn't let me finish. The
Yeah.
1988 carbon dating showing the shroud was from the medieval, not the biblical era, or the subsequent debunking of claims disputing the carbon dating. The carbon dating. Scientists today are still studying the Turin shroud, and they are still concluding it's a fake. So, Hobbit.
You know what that to me that sounds like? It sounds like a drink driving study funded and conducted by drink drivers says that actually, you know what? I've only had 10 pints. I'm fine to drive. Give me the
Trafford
keys.
Lee says he's been to Turin, but he didn't see the shroud, but he did see parts where the Italian Job was filmed.
Oh, I've never been to. Well, mind you, I want to say I've never been to Italy. I've been to Rome briefly.
Turin was where we got knocked out of Italy. What year was it? 1990, I think. The World Cup in 1990. That's where we played when we got knocked out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I was a very, very young fellow then, so
Yeah.
I wasn't paying attention.
In the latest, but almost certainly not the final instalment, they have used modern forensic techniques to show that the apparent blood spatters on the shroud could only have been produced by someone moving to adopt different poses rather than lying still in the manner of a dead and yet to be resurrected Messiah. So there you go, Hobbit, again.
I feel like I'm being lied to.
Forensic scientist, he's a scientist, Hobbit. He has papers. He is a credentialed man.
Has he got a degree?
Yeah, because he's Dr. Matteo Barini of Liverpool John Moores University. Now, look, if you work at Liverpool John Moores University, you are not a stupid man.
I think the question is, it's not so much whether they're stupid. It's just like, I don't doubt their credentials. I do doubt, however, their motives.
And Louis Garlascelli of the University of Pavia used a living volunteer and real and synthetic blood to try and simulate possible ways that the apparent blood stains could have got onto the shroud. They concluded that 2 short rivulets of possible blood in the left hand of the shroud's ghostly figure could only have been formed by someone who was upright with their arms at an angle of about 45 degrees.
So what does that mean?
Well, this could be consistent with somebody who has been crucified with their arms held in a Y shape. Unfortunately for shroud believers, however, the shroud believers, am I right? The forearm bloodstains would require the dead body to have been wrapped in the shroud with their arms in a different position, held almost vertically above their head, rather than at an angle of 45 degrees.
So, like, I'm going to play devil's advocate here, right, and say, when Christ was taken down from the cross, and they wrapped their shroud around him, do you think, like, they wrapped the shroud around his body, they took out the nail from his feet, and then they sort of carefully wrapped it around his body, and then his arms were sort of held vertically?
Mm. Well, I mean, when you look at the picture of the cross in the thumbnail, I'll put it in here so you can read along, Hobbit.
I don't want to read it.
Well,
this is blasphemy.
Well, sometimes reading helps you understand what's being said. The researchers whose findings have been published in the Journal of Forensic Scientists form the opinion that supposed blood spatters seem to have fallen vertically and almost randomly from someone who might well have been standing over the cloth rather than lying in it.
You know what would be interesting with this? You know, the miracle of the body of Christ, how occasionally blood will form on the body of Christ.
Yeah.
And when they do a DNA analysis of the blood, it's always the same match. It's not different blood, and it's the same blood. It's AB negative, and I suppose they won't tell us what the genome sequence of Jesus is.
I'm pretty sure that if it coincided with their biases, you would know.
Yeah. So what I'm saying, right, is that with now I don't know if there's any viable material on it, and I imagine there wouldn't be because it's been there for 2,000 years. But if they could find any of the blood on the Shroud of Turin and analyze it, would it match with this blood which is seen in the hosts, which occasionally miraculously turn into thing?
So when it came to the supposed lance wound, their article, A BPA Blood Pattern Analysis Approach to the Shroud of Turin, concluded the BPA of the blood visible on the frontal side of the chest lance wound shows that the shroud represents the bleeding in a realistic manner for a standing position, while the stains at the back of a supposed post-mortem bleeding from the same wound for a supine corpse are totally unrealistic. So what are they saying? Stains at the back. So are they saying that they put the thing over him and then took him down off the cross? Is that what they're trying to say?
I mean, that's what it sounds like to me.
Yeah. Dr. Barini is himself a Catholic, Hobbit. Breathe steady. Albeit one who does not need the shroud to bolster his... I don't need no stinking shroud to bolster my faith, says Dr. Barini.
Well, it's literally... It's the shroud that wrapped around... Oh... There's no point arguing with people like this.
It remains to be seen, however, whether it will shield him from the criticism of those who are convinced that the shroud made its way from Jesus' Jerusalem tomb to Constantinople in 944, to Greece after the sack of Constantinople by Crusaders in 1204, to France, and eventually to Italy. So I'll take it there's some big gaps of where it's been then, are there?
Yeah, I mean, it hasn't been documented all this time.
Yeah. The shroud bearing what looked like the double image of a man who had been crucified is now in the royal chapel of the Cathedral of St. John the Baptist in Turin. While it was in France, soon after the start of what is sometimes called its undisputed or documented history, that Bishop Darcy became one of the first people to express doubts about the 4.4 metre, 14'5" long and 1.1 metre or 3'7" wide piece of linen cloth. While writing in 1390, the bishop said the cloth first started attracting. So I assume it's. So they just lay you on it and then fold it over. Is that what they do?
So, I thought rather than carrying on with this heretical lies, I would read a report from 2020 about the
Well,
radiocarbon
this is
dating.
from 2018. This one is.
Yeah. Well, so statistical analysis published in 2020 challenged the reliability of the 1988 radiocarbon dating of the Shroud of Turin, concluding the data lacked homogeneity and suggested the presence of contaminants removed unevenly during cleaning. The researchers found an interlaboratory heterogeneity in the means and systematic spatial gradient of the ages of subsamples. Right, so how do I translate that into English? So heterogeneity means that the samples aren't the same.
Yeah.
So the labs weren't doing the same thing. So already the science is flawed. And the systematic spatial gradient of the ages, systematic spatial gradient.
Oh, so heterogeneity means they're all doing different tests or different measures. Is that what they're saying?
Yeah. Uh, I mean, I'm looking at this graph, and the graph, like, it says calendar age, and then it says radiocarbon age. But it's got a line, and it makes no sense to me. So anyway, what else? What does it say? So the ages of the subsamples, which indicated that the three laboratories produced statistically inconsistent results. The analysis revealed that adjusting the results from two of the labs by just 10 years, or a larger adjustment of 80 years for all results, would resolve the statistical inhomogeneity, casting doubt on the definitive nature of the original medieval dating range. So they're saying it's from 1260 at the earliest to 1390 at the latest.
Yeah.
Despite these statistical concerns, the 1988 testing was performed on a sample of the original linen cloth, not a medieval repair, contradicting claims that the sample was from a restored section. Oh, well, that's a fucking lie. While the 2020 studies high, this is the problem. It's the most charged thing in the world, right? Because if they were to be truthful about the Shroud of Turin, be like, yeah, this is the actual cloth which was surrounded our Lord in his death.
They do the same sort of thing with homeopathy experiments, don't they? They get all the doses wrong and they apply it wrong and stuff like that. So it's bound not to work, don't they? Because you couldn't have Pfizer being out of pocket, because I don't know, that'd be the heat death of the universe or something, wouldn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, there's some people, and they're very cynically saying, like, the reason the list of the clients on the Epstein list isn't going to be
Because
published.
it doesn't exist.
Yeah, well, that's the first reason, and anything else is an anti-Semitic canard.
Yeah.
But at the same time, people are asking too many questions about this list. Let's redact it all again before people start publishing more about it. And oh, look, here's a war in Iran now. We're going to have a war in Iran. So no more questions about the Epstein client list,
Oh,
which
you're still
doesn't
going
exist
on about
anyway.
that, are you?
I mean, that's ancient history. Who cares about saying that happened 5 years ago,
Yeah.
or whenever it was?
Or still going on today, most probably.
Yeah, yeah.
Because
But it definitely did.
about little Great St James, don't you? There's another island, Great St James, which
Yeah, well,
never really closed up shop. They closed up Little St James and focused all the fire on that place.
well, it's like comic ping pong saying we've not got a basement here. See, it's all
See,
concrete,
it's been
and it's
concreted
like,
in.
yeah, and it's like, oh, well, that's interesting because here you are on dumpsters, divers, and dive-ins,
Drivers,
and you,
drivers, dive-ins and dives. Drivers
oh,
dive, something like that.
so
There's three words.
anyway,
They all begin with D.
so you're on this show about like places where you can eat food in the United States, and here you are saying, yeah, here's our basement where we store tomatoes. We
Drivers,
used to-
dinings and dives. That's it. I finally remembered.
Yeah, here's the tomatoes, what we use for making tomato paste for the pizzas, and definitely,
down in our cellar that doesn't exist.
definitely not where we cage up children in soundproof cages where they're raped to death, and then we harvest their blood for bizarre satanic rituals. Definitely don't do that. I'm starting to think like, do you remember this thing they're talking about? Oh, it was just satanic panic in the 1980s. It's like maybe that satanic
Well,
panic
it was
was
kind of like it's kind of like how they debunked Pizzagate, wasn't it? Because it was Pizzagate. We've been to Comic Ping Pong, nothing's happening there, so that debunks the whole of Pizzagate.
and there's definitely
A
not
bit like that
secret.
time those two guys said, "Hey, we've got a plank, and we've done all of the all of the crop circles all over the country." And then everyone went,
Yes,
"Yes, they did all of the crop circles all over the country, so no one else could have done any other any other crop circles."
yep. So nothing more to see here. It's just these two drunk blokes. When they're drunk, they go out driving in the middle of the night.
Yeah,
No lights, no GPS or anything. And using this plank of wood, they go around and do all the fields, and you can't see them
and
do
bend
it
the
because,
stalks at the atomic level.
yeah, the stalks don't look like. What do you mean putting a piece of plank of wood on dry wheat is going to snap it in half? Obviously, you know nothing about wheat. You
Well,
you
that's why they do it at
pleb.
night when the dew comes down, and it makes it more pliable.
Mm. Oh yeah, well yeah, obviously yeah. Um, oh, there's a website called Shroud.
Oh,
So, are we just no? I mean, we're not doing an entire episode about the Shroud of Turin. I just
maybe we
thought,
can do. Well, it is
but
Easter.
yeah, but it's. I think we should just call it the Easter Sunday Spectacular
I think it's
because
called. I can tell you what the title is.
Easter Sunday Spectacular. That's what I'm
Sunday
calling
Super
it.
Spooky Easter Mystery, I think it's called.
Well, there we go. Yeah, happy Easter, everybody,
Yeah,
and our Lord has risen. So, haha, Jews,
yeah,
jokes on you. Our Lord isn't dead.
yeah.
Yeah. Uh, so, I mean, the shroud, it's fascinating,
Oh,
and
actually, a
it's
little
always,
addendum. You did mention Satanic Panic, so I was. Do you
yeah.
remember the McMartin preschool, which was debunked and fake, and there was no way the kids were being taken underneath the tunnels, and it's not all made up and lies and didn't happen.
And those tunnels don't exist anyway. And
Yeah,
what do you mean there's a load of concrete
it's not
poured
me
in
anyway.
tunnels?
I wouldn't do that
Yeah.
anyway.
No, I never was.
I never was. I never was. Yeah. Do you remember the postscript to that one where the FBI accidentally in a load of other files gave out the map of the tunnels underneath the school? Do you remember that one?
Yeah, it's always fun when they sort of say, oh, but,
They
you weren't
literally did
supposed
a
to read
Steve
that.
Dawson. It's not me. I wouldn't do that anyway. That's not me. I'm not him. I wouldn't do that.
Yeah. 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 And, well, you're telling me the FBI lied to the public?
No, I wouldn't suggest that at all. I mean, the
No.
FBI do it. Oh, did you see Pam Bimbo got binned? that's that's paranormal news. The fact she ever got a job at the FBI in the first place, Pam Bimbo.
I mean, like, there was like some disparaging remarks about how people like Pam Bimbo get a job there in the first place.
Not
I
Pam
mean,
Bimbo. She's the most able person at the FBI. She probably is the most able
I mean,
person at the FBI.
when people are saying she sucks like an Electrolux, I have no idea what they're saying.
I heard people also say that she could suck a golf ball through 10 feet of hose. I don't know what they
Yeah,
meant by that.
yeah. I mean, well, what's that got to do with anything? And
Yeah,
what sort of pantyhose, leg hose,
yeah.
letter hose?
Let her rose. Yeah.
It makes no sense that those sort of statements.
Yeah,
And
yeah. Especially,
what's
because that doesn't have anything to do with that doesn't have anything to do with like investigational ability anyway, does it?
and what does I suck like an Electrolux have to do with Pam Bondi's
And I didn't
credentials?
get a blowjob off of Pam Bondi anyway, which I wouldn't do because I'm
I
not
never
like
had
that.
one. Yeah.
Which I never had anyway.
For Ding Dong, I would from Pretty Patel. I keep calling her Pretty Patel, but that's not a name on Babe Station.
It's
It's
pretty
something
young,
else.
which is like a pretty like that's a bit of a bad name, isn't it?
It's a bit on the nose.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, yeah.
And she's not even
Um,
pretty young anyway, which she isn't.
no, no, she really isn't. Um, yeah. Um,
Right, what else did you want to talk about?
I just wanted to say I'm really happy our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ has returned this day, and He wants us to be merry, and that's why the wedding. Now, here's the thing: this is going to upset some people, right? The wedding at Cana was a miracle because Jesus turned water into wine, not grape juice.
Yeah,
People were
not
getting
great
drunk
drink.
on wine at the wedding. And do you know why that's an important detail, Protestants? Because he was doing this thing. Now, normally, what you do in a wedding at those places, and I think people do
Is you
it to
get
this
drunk
day.
and you dance to a tape cassette. Because I know all about
Yeah.
weddings because I've seen Peter Kay's stand up, and you listen
Oh,
to
okay.
tape cassettes, don't you, at
Yeah,
weddings
tape
and dance
cassettes.
or
Yeah.
like dance on the floor, and
I will
and
see.
your mum dances like this and your nan dances like this. Like I know all
I,
about it because I've watched Peter Kay.
Hey, comedy is when you go, remember when? And people go, ha ha, ha, I
Yeah,
remember
I
when.
remember that. That was in the
Yeah.
before
Yeah.
times, wasn't it?
Now, I will say, in defense of Peter Kay, he did one joke which made me
His three or
laugh.
four gags were funny. You can't deny that. Oh, the John
Right.
Smith's adverts were good as well. Do you remember the one where they
Uh,
were doing the kick ups in a circle and he just
oh
goes, have
no.
it, and boots it? Do you remember that one?
I just there was this one where the girl was like, "I'm scared of the monster," and it's like you don't got to be scared of the monster. You
That's
got to
the
be scared of
paedophiles and
Ab.
serial killers.
Yeah, you got to be scared of Abdul in the fucking kebab shop. He's gonna nonce you.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, hang on. I think Ofcom got a few complaints about that advert.
I can't believe Peter Kay did that joke. That's terrible. Poor taste.
It was inferred that's
Yeah.
who the nonce was.
Yeah.
Because in the north, you see, there's a lot of lemons
Mm.
running around making kebabs, putting
Yeah.
children in kebabs.
Yeah.
Don't eat kebabs, by the way. No, no, seriously, like you know all those yoga jokes about like, oh, McDonald's is people. They
Yeah.
put babies in chicken nuggets. Well,
Well, we
unfortunately,
had it on very good authority from a fella called Truth Warrior that if you
Mm,
go to McDonald's at 3 a.m. in the morning and you ask for the chicken nuggets, you get the ones with the children in them.
yeah, you see what they do is like, oh, just a second, let me go
What
into
they
the
call them,
freezer and
Epstein
get
jerky or something.
yeah, let me just go and get the human flesh from the freezer now that you've asked for the chicken nuggets. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll do that. Right, so the thing is, all those conspiracy theories, right? Bollocks, yeah. But unfortunately, in England, if you go into a kebab shop, there is a non-0% chance that the doner kebab will contain human flesh from a child that they've raped and murdered. So, oh, sorry, we've been demonetized. Yeah, a word from our sponsors, NordVPN, or is it
Yeah.
ExpressVPN, which is the
Well,
one which is
Raid
run
Shadow
in
Legends.
Israel.
I want the sweet Raid Shadow Legends money.
Well, yeah, we definitely are sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends, but also I just want to say,
Or have you seen the new characters they've got in this season in Raid Shadow Legends? They're brilliant. You get all the buffs and that.
and if you're having trouble connecting to Raid Shadow Legends because
Yeah.
it's an online game,
Yeah.
use our sponsors today, ExpressVPN,
Rabbi
and use
Schmoodies, dildos and
yeah,
that.
yeah, well, use the
Yeah.
code Christ is risen, Happy Easter for
Yeah.
10% off on your order.
There's no way you're getting 10% off if you type that into a Raid Shadow Legends coupon.
Oh yeah, but I'm talking about ExpressVPN, which it's got servers in Israel, so you can see what
Yeah.
Israeli Netflix looks like.
Yeah. It didn't look that
Which is
good actually. I had a look.
yeah, yeah, it's great stuff. So there's a
You
word
can
from
get
our
it in a number of
sponsors.
places.
Yeah. So
What else? Oh, BetterHelp. BetterHelp. Yeah. Don't forget to go to BetterHelp if you're a mentaler.
oh, fun story about that. So all because people were just like typing in their problems with like their penis and
Yeah.
suicide and all the other stuff that people have troubles with, which I'm not belittling, by the way. I'm just giving examples. Like this is problems that cause people angst. So they're typing all the stuff in, and then BedHealth said, "Hey, do you want to buy all this information that's confidential?" And people just like, "Yeah." And that information has now been put into large language models. So, or as people call them, AI. So that the AI has now got access to people's all mental anguish.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
What
yeah,
does the
I
AI
thought
plan
that
on
was.
doing that? Are you using it to exploit you or what?
I just think of that bit in Terminator 2. It's like, does this make you a more effective killer? Affirmative.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Oh dear. I'm watching. There's this person, he's sellotaped a cockroach to this wagon, and he's got the zapper from one of those electronic lighters, and he zapped one of its feet, so it starts scurrying about. And it says leaked footage of Mark Levin doing manual labour. And I don't know why they'd associate Mark Levin with the cockroach that's been sellotaped to a wagon.
I have no idea.
But I'll give you a copy of the link as so you can see it yourself. But yeah, no,
Oh yeah,
I'm really.
this is like the only time I've ever got some useful info from a John Oliver episode. Yes, I did used to
Yeah.
watch John Oliver. Twice a year, the clocks move forward and back by an hour, but this simple act may come with a multitude of risks. You know about the risks that come along with
Yeah, it's the
huge amounts of
horrible.
accidents.
It's the worst time to be on the roads. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it just yeah.
Early this morning in the UK, blah, blah, blah. We don't need the fucking preamble. Designed to maximise the amount of daylight we receive on a daily basis, it seems like a harmless idea in principle. But according to scientists, it does come with some potential downsides. Cellular rhythm expert. Is that some sort of weird sexual practice, cellular rhythm? Is that so you don't get a lady pregnant?
I'm sorry. Can I interrupt you with this bit? There's this. Now, I don't know why somebody's recording in church, but also, like, I'm glad they did. Right? So, there's this thing, right, where you're saying, like, uh, I didn't know this because, by the way, right, I know I'm Catholic, but some would be like, You're not a real Catholic. What do you mean this is your first Easter Mass? Well, look, it's a first time for everything, right?
Yeah.
And I decided I'm going to have a proper crack at this going to church thing. So I went to Easter Mass. And I felt wretched, by the way, the night before. Like I was proper upset about Christ's suffering, and thought, I don't deserve this salvation, and I still don't. But the fact is, it's like it doesn't matter. It's just like, look, you don't deserve it, but it's still given freely to you, and that's kind of like the beauty of the gift. And so there's this thing where you renew your baptismal vows on Easter, and I didn't know anything about this, and I thought, well, this is quite nice. And so I'm there busy like singing a hymn because I'm in the choir, and so I've got my head down in my book following the melody, and the priest, he comes up to the choir, and he's sprinkling us all with holy water. And this video, I'll describe this for the wireless listeners. So it's like the priest knows where the gospel lot is on this church, right? And instead of just using like the little brush to sprinkle a couple of drops on people's heads, he's scooping jugs of holy water out. And he's drenching these parishioners in it. And he goes, he says, oh, you lady, you need a lot of water. He just tips the bucket on her head. He's like, be baptized and sin no more.
Get baptized, bitch.
And then he says, hang on, I think you need a double measure. So this altar boy comes and gives him another bucket of holy water. He scoops more of it out and chucks it into her face.
Get baptized, nerd.
So yeah, that's a pretty good video. Oh, sorry, the Peter Kay joke, which I thought was funny.
Yeah.
He talks about how old people need bright lights to read things.
Yeah.
And he says eventually, like my nan, she's at the point where she needs a 15 kilowatt spotlight to see. And then he says, look, light guy, this is a joke. Can you point the light on this receipt I'm trying to read? And then the stagehand turns the light on the thing. He says, oh yeah, I can read that now. You see, that's how my nan is. She needs a 15 kilowatt spot bulb. I was like, oh, I didn't know those stage lights are 15 kilowatts.
Yeah.
But I thought that was a good joke because normally stand-up comedians they don't take advantage of their environment, but
Yeah.
Peter Kay does.
So cellular rhythm expert. So he knows all about having sex without getting ladies pregnant. That's the rhythm method, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, that's it.
Dr. John O'Neill of the Medical Research Council Laboratory of Molecular Biology in Cambridge. So let me run this incredibly succinct name through you. He's from the Medical Research Council Laboratory of Molecular Biology in Cambridge. Hobbit.
For the advancement of human sciences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why doesn't he just say something that needs a snappier name? Maintains that daylight savings time is mostly redundant these days. So actually, it's all about killing boomers off. Apparently.
Oh well, in that case, I'm all for it.
It's like everybody in the country gets an hour's jet lag all at the same time, he said. You see an increase in the incidence of heart attacks and strokes, and you do get an increase in the number of road traffic accidents for a few days after clocks change.
In that case, instead of making the hours clocks go forward and back an hour, what if we did 2 hours instead?
Yeah. O'Neill argues that human physiology is unable to cope with this kind of sudden change. If you place all of those burdens and demands on, for example, the cardiovascular system an hour earlier, then it's just not quite as well prepared to satisfy the demand. So is he saying that people get like stuck in a rut and the body kind of knows what to expect when?
I mean, I don't know about this stuff. I mean, like I say, I go to the continent fairly often, and they're permanently on daylight savings time. So, you go directly south from Portsmouth to Brest or wherever, and it's like, oh yeah, well, it's not 3 in the afternoon now; it's now 4 in the afternoon. It's like, what? Yeah, yeah. The French pretend they're an hour forward from us because they get up. But I'm sorry, I'm looking at the comments on this video, the one with the priest is drenching them, and I have a real use of pigeon here, and it's not a BBC profile. So, Ada Ugo, clinking champagne glasses, butterfly, purple heart says, "Which Paris you day go?" And then Uchi is a girl, which is kind of like that. That's interesting. Name, but she says responds to that Sacred Heart.
So anyway, so it says if you place all the so people who are a bit older or a bit less healthy, it increases their risk of an adverse event, heart attack or stroke. There have been some heated debates in recent years as to whether daylight saving time is still useful in the modern world. Yeah, we have lights now. If it'd be better to simply scrap the whole thing. As things stand, however, seems unlikely to be disappearing anytime soon.
When I'm king, I'm just going to make a compromise with people and say, look, well, we're going to do this thing now where it's called you set your own alarm clock and you get up when you think it's appropriate. We're going to use Greenwich Mean Time, which also stands for God's own time. Actually, no, God's meridian time. There we go. It's God's meridian time. Greenwich Mean Time is God's meridian time, right? We're going to use that because that is the time for which God created time on. And that's how we know that the Garden of Eden is in.
I might read this, I might not, but Congress sets a new deadline for release of 46 secretive UFO videos. Is this are they burying this because the war's going on, or are they trying to distract from how bad the war's going?
I mean, there's always that thing they say in there where they just go like, oh, look, people are getting a bit too uppity, talk about aliens again.
Yeah.
And the constant cock teasing with the US saying, well, we know about UFOs, we're going to show you.
I remember listening to all the, because I used to listen to different conspiracy theory shows than you did. I used to listen to a geezer called Richard Syrett, and every time there was a new prime minister coming in, he was like, "Oh, Barrack's going to release him. Barrack's going to release him. Oh, Hillary's going to release him if she wins. Hillary's going to release him if she wins." It's just like that every time there's a new president, they go, "Oh, they're definitely gonna release him this time." Oh, that and the JFK stuff.
Yeah, it's that. I get annoyed with all that. I
Yeah.
really do. Yeah.
A woman who was thought to have had no chance of recovery was seemingly cured by a strong jolt on the road. According to reports, the 50-year-old, who hails from Philipit, Uttar Pradesh, India, had taken seriously. Why is Uttar Pradesh like the Florida of India? Is it? Because all these stories, they're always from Uttar Pradesh. Have you ever noticed that, Hobbit?
Yeah, it's
It's
I
Uttar
mean,
Pradesh,
India's a
man.
big, yeah, it's a big place, and Uttar Pradesh seems to be causing like the vast majority of it.
Wasn't the poo hoist from Uttar Pradesh? I'm pretty sure it was. Do you remember the
Hmm.
poo heist? Was it three? Was it £250,000 worth of poop that they took? Weren't it?
I just like, I always insane the things which get stolen in India, like poo and roads. It's like, oh, you put some tarmac down on the road, so I better nick that then because
Get out there with
did
a
you know?
frying pan. I like it when they don't even go with the bucket. They go with the frying pan, don't they?
Well, because that's where you want it to be in. Because didn't you know tarmac's flammable, and I could use that for my cooking fire. Oh,
According,
by the way,
God, then.
my wheels of on my car have buckled again because there's no tarmac on the roads, and I've hit a pothole.
Sadly, doctors were unable to treat her condition, and she ended up essentially brain dead. After a time, it became apparent she was never going to recover. She was unable to breathe unassisted, and her brain showed no signs of conscious activity. Her husband had warned family members that they should prepare for the worst, and a decision was made to discharge her from hospital so that she could spend her remaining days at home. But then something very strange happened. While she was being transported to her home in the back of an ambulance, the vehicle went over a large pothole, causing a sudden jerk which jolted everything and everyone inside. Incredibly, this jolt seems to have had a profound impact, as within seconds the woman's husband noticed she'd started breathing on her own, prompting a return to the hospital. Oh, were they taking her home to die then, I assume?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah, they sent her home to die, basically. Amazingly, she went on to make a full recovery and was able to return to home 2 weeks later. According to surgeon Dr. Rakesh Singh, the woman had been completely unresponsive prior to the incident with the pothole. Wow, thanks for that, Rakesh Singh. Just, Hobbit, did you know she was unresponsive prior to the incident? And
These are,
and
yeah.
exactly how she managed to revive her brain functions remains a total mystery. Well, there we go. Mystery solved, Hobbit, by Dr. Rakesh Singh.
I do remember the story actually. Yeah, yeah,
You've
I've
heard this
heard
one
about
before,
that.
have you?
Yeah, no, the Hate Bus covered it a few months ago, and it
Yeah.
was just like, well, she's dead, but then when we took her back and on, it's like, oh no, she's not actually dead.
Yeah. I love the way he just goes, well, she'd been completely unresponsive before.
Hmm.
Yeah, anyway, yeah. JD Vance, obsessed with UFOs, claims aliens are demons.
Oh, here's an article from Euronews, right? So just on the thing of AI, yeah. AI models found to show language bias by recommending black defendants be sentenced to death.
Okay.
Now the
That's
thing
highly
is, right?
racist and disgusting,
Yeah,
isn't it, Hobbit?
and
You know, the
accurate.
worst,
Now,
as you know, the worst thing you can ever be in this world is I was going to say rapist. That's not even as bad as being a racist, is it?
I'm just thinking about the Deus Ex thing about what they really worship in America,
Uh-huh.
and you got to put that into video submission. So I'm going to look forward to that video when
Yeah.
it gets round to it. So here's the thing: is it that the AI is just going, if it's black, send him to the chair, or is it a case of, well, without looking at to the race of the defendant, I've looked at the crimes and the evidence presented, and I recommend the death penalty.
Um, is it because most of the column inches are a look at this man who has done absolutely nothing wrong, but he's going to the death chair, to the electric chair? Could it be that? Because there are an awful lot of this man who's done completely nothing has been
Hmm.
sent to the death chair sent to the electric chair for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah,
It could be
yeah.
because they are large language models, so I always think of like a commonality.
It's
that it
like
could be.
is Dave on grounds Martin being sentenced to death because he's black and the judge hates him because of
Yeah,
his black skin,
yeah.
or is it because he
He
ran
murdered
over
that woman.
80 people? No, do you remember the guy who ran over like 80 people in this Christmas parade in
No, he
America?
didn't. He didn't. An SUV did.
Oh no, an SUV ran over, and he
Yeah,
was a poor innocent victim of the SUV because he
yeah,
was a passenger at the time that was behind the driver's
yeah.
wheel, which is no relation to the SUV running
A
people
bit like the
over.
one in Derby the other day. Where yeah.
Yeah, yeah, just a car runs people over. It must be one of those
And in
self-driving
unrelated
cars
news, an
then.
Indian man was arrested.
So I'm looking at for some reason Twitter's saying what's trending in Switzerland. So Strassen is trend that Verlust is trending, Operation is trending, and also this now I'm not too
Is
good.
weird opening ceremonies trending trending in Switzerland? If it's not, it
No,
should
no,
be.
it's not because to them that's not interesting. But now my German's not the best in the world, but there's this one article that's trending, what term that's trending in Switzerland. It is fascismus. I wonder what fascismus could mean.
Is it like Christmas? But
It is,
a certain toothbrush mustachioed painter
yeah,
brings you
yeah. That's.
presents.
Oh, I was going to say it's like that, but you wear a black fencing shirt and you march in Cable Street.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh.
Yeah, that's it.
Mm.
Ah, just
What else you got unexplained? Oh, we never covered this one. I don't know whether we weren't because we haven't been on for a couple of weeks. I don't know whether we missed it or what. But thieves have made off with an extremely large quantity of Kit Kat bars.
yes, I did hear about the Kit Kat heist.
Yeah.
Oh, Project Hail Mary. It's already grossed $400 million at the cinemas, and they expect it to gross another 900. I think I might go watch it with a friend. Hey, do you want to go cinema with me?
Can do. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I would do, but my local Odeon has had a truck of peace drive through it.
Doxed.
It's somebody at the it's not that near. But somebody at the Odeon down Six Fields in Northampton. Someone drove through it. Shall I find the story? I'll find the story and I'll read it out to you. Give me a sec.
Yeah, yeah, sure, we can do that. Um, yeah. God,
Yeah,
I'm looking at the
people thought it
stints.
was so. Here we go. Let's read it from the BBC. So maybe later. Fuck off, BBC. A multiplex cinema has been forced to close after a car crashed into the entrance. A spokesman for the Odeon Lux in Northampton said it has been shut down temporarily while safety checks were carried out. The car crashed into the front doors on Saturday morning. The spokesperson said no one had been hurt. An eyewitness told the BBC the building had been badly damaged. My family lie turned up for our film showing at the Odeon Northampton to find the cinema out of action, they said. The cinema's website had said it's not been taking any bookings for Saturday due to unforeseen circumstances and apologised to filmgoers who were advised to check for updates. Northamptonshire Police has been approached by the BBC, so they obviously hasn't. Yeah, so hold on. What's that say? I don't think that's the same one, is it? Oh, apparently that's a bit weird because it says set to open May. It must have been last May it opened. So it's been open since May, and someone thought it was a drive-through cinema.
You know something which I'm thinking, are we the bad guys? And I'm not saying we, but I'm saying like the occupation governments which control us, right? Uh, I'm watching a video, right, and it's a Persian celebrating Easter Sunday by going to church in Tehran.
Oh, he ain't doing that
And
chest slapping thing, is he?
what? No, they're in pews and they're making the sign of the cross. So they're doing that, but it's illegal to do that in Israel. You're not allowed. You're not allowed to do that in Jerusalem. In fact, that was the thing that the patriarch in Jerusalem is Cardinal Pizzaballa, and he was forbidden by the Jewish authorities from entering Jerusalem. So he did his ceremony outside the walls of it. which a lot of people are saying is like what.
Well, you're not allowed to pray in your head anymore, are you?
Well, that's in the United Kingdom. Yeah, it's a different era.
Yeah.
Miss.
I'm just going through the. See if I can find it. That's it for the news. So that was Saturday that happened during the Easter weekend. So somebody obviously didn't like the Easter weekend. There's no Allahu Akbar in or anything like that, so I can't give you any exciting stuff. Just somebody crashed into the. Someone tried to take out the Odeon.
Well, I mean, the good news today is our Lord has risen, and this causes all the people you dislike to gnash their teeth and wail.
Yeah.
Hmm.
What else have we got in here? So anyway, they nicked a load of Twixes. Did you get offered any Twixes down the local pub?
Oh, Twixes. I thought
Not
there was
Twixes,
Kit Kats.
You're right.
Yeah, I was
Kit
going to
Kats.
say, yeah.
Yeah, I wish it was Twixes. You feel a
Yeah,
bit,
yeah.
getting cheap Kit Kats is all right, but you'd rather have cheap Twixes, wouldn't you?
I look at
I haven't had a Twix in fucking ages. Lidl used to do a good Twix, didn't they?
did they? Oh yes, they did. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do they still do it?
I'm not too fond of Twix. I gotta admit, but I did like the 1970s advert. It's like Twix is the longer snack. And I was like, oh, that's nice.
Did
It's
we
longer
cover
snack.
the fucking robots losing their shit in China? Did we cover any of that? I don't think we did.
The robots spazzing out and
You heard about a humanoid Unitree G1 robot was escorted away by police recently after being following a pedestrian. According to reports, a 70-year-old woman had got quite scared when she turned around to discover that the robot had been following her. Police attended the scene where she claimed feeling unwell and had to be taken to hospital. Yeah, that one. What's the one? The one that wouldn't stop dancing, weren't there?
I haven't seen that one. No.
And then there was the one that started a fighting at work, weren't
it? Yeah. Well, it's.
So after that, real-life RoboCop could patrol the streets within 5 years. What, a robot with a human brain in it, or are they just talking about robots? I hate it when they say, "Oh, real-life RoboCop." Actually, it's a real-life robot. Oh no, they both got brains in, haven't they? I was going to say RoboCop 2. Actually, more like an Ed 209 then, isn't it?
Well, I was going to say, I mean, this is all just journalists getting excited about, like, you know what.
Yeah. What else have we got? You got anything you want to talk about?
Yes, I really like Maltese cuisine, and they do this thing called a beef olive, and I kind of wish I was. Well, it's not an olive. I mean, it's got onion in it, and some people fart after having that. It's what you do is you get this steak and you flatten it out, and you stuff it full of wonderful, glorious things, including eggs and onions.
Oh, Madfuzz has come too. He's signed into Dota 2 already.
And it's absolutely lovely, and it's so nice, and it's called a beef olive because it looks like a stuffed olive, beef olive. And it's got bracioli, that's what it's called.
Braciole.
Yeah.
The only thing I know Braciole from was, do you remember Punisher Warzone?
Oh, hang on. There's two eyes in it, so it's bracioli.
Oh, they kept talking about Braciole in thingy. Right, so I did find another one. So file this under shark science. Recent research has taught us that microplastics are everywhere, but just how accurate are these studies? One of the blah blah blah. Scientists have been proposing that when these microplastics get into our bodies, blah blah blah. Now, though, a new study has somewhat thrown a spanner in the works by highlighting what seems to be a fundamental flaw common to a large percentage of studies in microplastics. According to researchers at the University of Michigan, the laboratory gloves used during the majority of these studies may themselves be covered in microplastics that can contaminate samples to the tune of 2,000 false positive signals per square millimetre. What do you think of that then, Hobbit?
I have no comment about it. I'm very sorry. I'm still thinking about if I should, because you say I got this steak, and I'm thinking, yeah, but you don't have any parsley.
Yeah.
But I'm also thinking to myself, I could make braciole. Braciole.
How do you make braciole then?
So what you do is you get a steak and you pound it out flat, and then you make a stuffing from chopped parsley, onions, carrots, and well, you don't have to use carrots, but some recipes use carrots and egg. And you've got to fill it with minced meat. So I mean, traditionally they use pork, but veal as well.
Ah,
And
braziola. Is that what you said?
beef olive,
Oh, beef olive.
braciole. Yeah,
Oh, it says also braciole, which is a air dried salted beef. Or
no,
also
no,
can be made of horse venison and pork.
no. That's not the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ah. Yeah, so for the sauce, and this is the bit which makes the dish really. I mean, yeah, the meat's good, but the sauce, right? So I'm going to read you the ingredients in the sauce: olive oil, onions, garlic, a tin of tomatoes, flat leaf parsley, a cup of basil.
Oh,
Uh,
beef olives are a traditional dish consisting of thin slices of beef rolled around a savoury filling and slow cooked in a rich gravy. Common
yeah,
fillings include sausage meat, haggis, skirley, which is oatmeal, or bacon, while the cooking liquid often
yeah.
combines beef stock, red wine, and aromatic vegetables like onions, carrots, and celery.
Well, I'm on Malta.com,
Yeah.
and it's saying that you should use veal mince, bacon, and oregano. Yeah, they use
So
oregano.
Scottish style is oatmeal, bacon, and skirley filling, often served
Oh,
with clapshot or potatoes. I don't even know what fucking clapshot is. Are we
I
gonna go?
mean,
Are we going down a rabbit hole here? Are we?
you could do that, or alternatively, we could stick to the Maltese recipe. What with it being a
Or you could
Maltese
do
dish,
Italian style, which is pine nuts, parmesan, and
or
tomato-based
or we could
sauces.
stick with the Maltese recipe. So you got your steak, right? You got
Yeah.
your veal mince, rashers of bacon,
You got your bag on
g-
your head.
gar garlic,
You
yeah,
got you
that
got your
too.
bottle. Got your bottle of salad cream. You got your got your
A
paper
cup
bag on your head.
a cup of parsley, oregano, a shallot, yeah, because you got the onion, you got the garlic, you got a shallot. And now they're saying you use a
Oh, actually,
Maltese
you would like
cheese,
clapshot, Hobbit. Clapshot is
yeah.
a traditional Scottish dish that originated in Orkney and may be served with haggis, oatcakes, mince, sausage,
Yeah,
or
never
cold
mind
meat.
what it could be served with. What is it?
It is created by the combined mashing of swede, turnips, and potatoes, neeps and tatties, with the addition of chives, butter, or dripping. Salt and pepper, some versions include onions. The name is Orcadian in origin.
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you now. I am not a fan of turnip. Every time I've eaten it, I've nearly
I
vomited.
think that's why you neep and tatty it, I think.
I think that's why. No, I tell you, the best way to serve turnip is you feed it to the cows, then you eat the cow. Cows love turnip.
Fast food and this is Scottish food. Fast food and takeaway: deep fried Mars bar, fish and chips, haggis pakora, a killy pie, which is a football pie, munchie box, which is a selection of takeaway items served in a pizza box, and pizza crunch, which is a whole or sliced deep fried battered pizza.
Hmm.
Uh, how about Arbroath Smokies, which are a type of smoked haddock? Cabbie claw, which is young cod in white sauce. Crappit head, and that's crappit heed. Fish head stuffed with oats, suet, and oats, suet, and liver. Do you fancy that one?
I would actually eat that. Yeah.
You like fish head?
No, I don't like fish heads, but when you'd throw suet, oats, and liver, I would eat
Yeah,
that.
but you still got to eat the fish head.
No, I don't.
Eye mouth pale, which is a
No,
cold,
you give the fish head to the cat. You don't eat that.
cold smoked haddock with light golden hue and a subtle smoky flavour. Finnan haddy, which is another cold smoked haddock. There's a lot of kippers. Kedogry, which is smoked haddock. Basically, there's a million different ways of doing meat, poultry, and game. Halfway down, chicken tikka masala.
Yes.
Yeah. How about how towdy with drappit eggs, which is a young hen with poached eggs.
Hmm. You know, I've got a steak in the fridge and I've got salad.
How about potted? How about potted heed, which is brawn, and you know
I was
brawn is,
going
don't
to
you?
say that
Yeah,
potted. That sounds like potted head.
yeah.
Yeah.
Head cheese. Head cheese. That just sounds vile in
Yes.
itself, doesn't it? Roast woodcock or snipe. What is a snipe? Preserves and spreads. Dundee marmalade. Rowan jelly. Rowan jelly. Would you eat that, Hobbit?
What's a rowan?
It's called a mountain ash.
So that's
Shrubs or trees
you're
in the
talking
genus
about
Sorbus of the
a
rose
tree,
family.
yeah.
So it's kind of so it'd be like rose hip jelly, I suppose.
Yeah, I'd have that. I mean, people quite like what's the word thing I'm thinking of? Um, Sorry, brain's just gone numb. Yeah, I like maple syrup, so I'm sure that'll taste good.
Yeah, so you got your soups, Cullen skink. Board
Mm.
brie, which is a hare broth. You ever had hare, Hobbit? I know you've had rabbit, haven't you?
No, I've not had hare. It's whenever I ask the butchers about it, they don't have rabbit in stock. They don't have hare in stock.
I
The,
suppose
the,
it's
the
not
only
worth
place,
it, really, is it?
well,
Do
the
you
only
really
place.
believe that if you ate nothing but rabbit, you'd starve to death? Whatever that fucking shitty myth is.
What were you'd suffer malnutrition? It's like saying, "Oh, did you know if you ate nothing but potatoes, you'd have malnutrition?
Yeah,
If you ate nothing but celery, you'd have malnutrition.
yeah.
If you ate nothing but what
Rice
any like
Krispies.
what it's like, for example, there was this man who died at the age of 32, and all he ate was Pringles and red wine.
Pringo.
Pringles,
Pringos.
yeah, Pringles.
Pringos.
Hmm.
Um, are we thumbing in a soft here, Robert? Or do you want me to find something else to talk about?
No, this is the miracle of Easter, and we still have
Yeah.
another 20 minutes where we can talk about the glory of unexplained mysteries.
Yeah. Are there any other biblical stuff biblical mysteries you want to talk? Shane Fraser's not here, so we can talk to him about the about his
I,
theories.
well, you know, there was some interesting back and forth with.
Oh, son of Colhane says, to be fair, Pizza Crunch is elite.
I'm sorry, but like, okay, here's the thing, right? My name is Hobbit, and I am a fat man because I will like happily eat spoonful. Look, right, my dessert last night was yogurt, cream cheese, no, yogurt, clotted cream, and strawberries. That's why the reason I ate that was because I ran out of scones and I still had lots of clotted cream left, and I was just like, I'm just going to eat this, and it was delicious. So I'm saying what I'm trying to get to you, dear listener, is to saying the thing is I'm fat. Well, I would not eat a battered pizza. I'm sorry, but there's just look, there's not enough.
I bet it's like a Goodfellas pizza as well. I bet it's not even like a homemade pizza. I bet it's like a Goodfellas one or something.
But the thing is, right? Look. When I'm having like a fry up, I will make fried bread because what you do is when you've done all the other cooking, you get your lard and you fry the bread in it, and that way it gets all the taste of the bacon and everything else. So I will do that. I am not opposed to deep frying bread. What I am opposed to is the idea of battering a pizza because it's just going to be too fucking dry.
Did you know Krabby's alcoholic ginger beer hails from Scotland? Well, I'm not surprised by that.
I mean, its name is Krabby's.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Non-alcoholic breakfast tea. Okay, apparently breakfast tea is Scottish. Iron Brew. Have you ever read cola with a K? Red cola is made by various. Is a carbonated soft drink made from fruit extracts. May include flavouring from the cola nut, which is a nut begins with a K.
Yeah, it's a cola tree. Uh, yeah. I've got a story from Unexplained Mysteries.
One
High
more. Hold
ranking.
on. Would you
Yeah,
would you drink Sugarelli Hobbit, which is called Spanish water or licorice water? Is a British soft drink made with licorice that was popular in Scotland in the early to mid 20th century.
I've never heard of it, and yes, I would
Yeah.
because I like anything licorice. I mean, pastis. I'm quite happy to have. Yeah.
Right. Anyway, so you got from Unexplained Mysteries.
Yeah, high-ranking FEMA official claims he was once teleported 50 miles, and this is by TK Randall.
Oh, have you seen that? They keep putting it in all the time, but we haven't spoken about it. That general that's missing, maybe similar.
That reminds me a bit of Twin Peaks. The general goes missing in that, and then you see him next in what's that show called? He's next visible in oh come on, you almost had it there, brain. Stargate. It's the exact same general. So anyway, Greg Phillips bizarrely claims that he'd been with his sons when they were all teleported to a Waffle House. All right. Phillips, a conspiracy theorist who currently heads up FEMA's Office of Response and Recovery, has reportedly detailed his peculiar experiences during interviews on several different podcasts. The strangest allegedly began when he had been driving along. Now, is this another man who doesn't sweat? He'd been driving along the road in his car one day when the vehicle was inexplicably hoisted up into the air by. I know, I do struggle with those English words. Hoisted up into the air by an unseen force and moved around 40 miles. Well, you said it was 50 miles. Now, what do you mean 30 miles? You'll be hearing from my mechanic about when you moved my
10 miles back.
Yeah, you'll be hearing from my mechanic when you clocked my car back 10 miles. When he looked out, he found his car had been deposited into a ditch next to a church. I think there might be a more mundane explanation for this story.
Yeah.
I'm getting a feeling that it's really not that strange. This might seem out there enough, but on a different occasion, Phillips maintained he had been driving with his sons in the car, and they decided to visit a Waffle House. Suddenly, without warning, the vehicle was teleported approximately 50 miles to Rome, Georgia, where it allegedly reappeared just outside a Waffle House. Teleporting is no fun, he told the Onward podcast. You know it's happening, but you can't do anything about it, so you just go with the ride, and well, what a just incredible adventure it all was. Given the bizarre nature of his claims, it's difficult to accept that any of this actually happened, and it's also unclear why he would make something like this up and insist it was real, especially given his high-ranking position he currently holds. Exactly what, if anything, actually did happen to his occasions remains a bit of a mystery. So, quantum teleportation achieved over 44 kilometres.
I love quantum teleportation is my favourite form of teleportation that didn't happen.
It's the teleportation that leads to quantum leaps.
Yeah.
Before you do quantum leaps, you've got to do quantum baby steps.
Speaking of quantum leaps, have you seen in unusual news the BBC has another paedophile?
What? A paedophile?
And rather than being suspended for a year, Scott Mills was told, "Yeah, you're off after when you finish your shift. Fuck off and don't come back." So,
Oh, so were they gonna like quietly slide him into another show when
no,
this
they were
contract was up?
literally fuck off. You're gone at the end of your shift. Do not darken our door again.
I'm guessing that they're a bit like, look, you know Hugh Edwards, so
Yeah, he's Scott Mills
y-
has been on radio for years though.
I must admit I don't know who that is.
Yeah. Oh, Cynical Hayne on YouTube. It says message retracted, but it still shows that message on Rumble. Why would he delete? To be fair, Pizza Crunch is elite. That's not something to be. That's not something to be ashamed of.
Yeah, mind you, I'm not seeing that in the Rumble chat.
No, well, I've seen it in the. I see it in the Rumble studio.
Oh, so you're getting access to like stuff which I'm not seeing.
Yeah, so I get both. I get both. That
Wait,
Pizza
hang
Crunch
on.
is the retracted message from YouTube.
Is that like when I started saying that I wouldn't eat Pizza Crunch because I think it's too dry, and that's when it got retracted. Because I'm
Probably.
telling you now, look, if you think it's elite, then more power to you.
Hmm.
But I just think that sounds a bit too dry.
Uh, oh, and also Pepsi's withdrawn all wireless festival funding after Kanye West backlash. So
I
some
tell you what.
absolute genius booked Kanye West.
Well, I hear he's very popular amongst the youth.
Um,
I tell
oh,
you what.
in paranormal news, do you want to talk about the UK's most expensive petrol pump, where a tank costs 240 quid?
Look, how much is it per litre? Just tell me that. Is it £2?
Higher.
Oh no. Uh, I mean, what am I supposed to say about this? You know,
uh, it's £3 a litre, Hobbit,
uh, no, it's not.
and
No,
it's in London, probably. Yeah,
no,
London.
no, it's not. Look, do you remember that
Oh, it's
time
in
when
Chelsea. It's in Chelsea, so all the right people are getting scammed for that.
that's all right. So you see, I, uh, no, there's this thing which is like when you accidentally use friend group A language with friend group B,
Yeah.
and it's like, oh no, what have I done? And I like this was like a few weeks ago where I sent this picture of the fuel prices to friend group B, and I said, "Thanks a lot for this, thanks, Jews." And I was like, oh no. And then my friend responded to me and he said, "What, is that how expensive it is over there?" Yeah, I don't like them either. It's like when you accidentally do some a social faux pas, but it turns out they're on the same wavelength.
Do you want a gaming opinion from the Metro? These are the
Oh
changes
boy,
Zelda
how did
Ocarina of Time remake
yeah.
has to make.
Oh God, yeah. I'm right. Okay, hang on just a second. Let me get my pen and paper out. I've got a back of a fag packet here. So
Actually,
just got
hold
my
on. I've
pen.
just got some rage bait to put in Richie's server.
Okay. I'm ready to write down all the important things for this game I don't play. Oh, the Unexplained Mysteries have got an article about the Shroud of Turin.
I think we were going to go over it. I think we were going to go over it. I don't think it was that good. I had no idea, big budget. I'm hoping the change will be relatively minimal. First thing I'd change is voice acting. Most recent games have been slowly adding more. While I agree that Link shouldn't talk, everyone else should. Spoils the immersion, blah blah blah. Art style. I thought they'd at least say like it needs diversity. I don't know. I don't know when. I've never played it, so I don't even know what they're talking about on that.
I'm not interested in Bing Bing
Do you want
Bacco.
to do you want to talk about the one ZX Spectrum game from 43 years ago that needs a remake?
Oh, is it Ant Attack?
Oh, have you already seen this then? Is somebody talking about it already then?
Is it really Ant Attack?
It's Ant Attack.
It's Ant Attack.
I thought someone else had been talking about it.
No, I was just thinking to myself, like the like. Okay, so there's like a number of games I remember from the Specky, right? Ant Attack was one.
Ant Attack
Jetpack,
is in the Guinness World Records. Do you know what it's in there for?
for being an isometric game
It's the
on the
first
Specky.
first isometric game to exist for home
Oh, is it?
computers. Yeah,
Oh, can I tell you of a heartwarming story that is hashtag wholesome?
go on then.
15-year-old steals bus, then drives 80 miles to pick up his girlfriend.
Ah, bless him.
I think, considering he's driven it for 80 miles without crashing the thing,
Mm.
they should give him a job.
And he treated it with respect as well.
Yeah?
It kind of makes me think of Sky King, doesn't it? No, we don't get jobs like that. Do you remember that?
So look,
That was
if you land the
depressing.
plane,
That was.
if you land the plane, you'll get any job. It's like, I'm a white guy. There's no job for me.
Yeah.
It's sad because it's. I mean, that was the thing. Like when I was talking with the boy, and I said, "Are you looking forward to like getting a mortgage for a house?" He says, "No." It's, uh,
So yeah. So he said he thinks Ant Attack. So this geezer says Ant Attack should be remade.
yeah, well, he might have a point there. Uh,
I'll put it in the Nintendo tapes and such, so you can read that if you want to. Hobbit.
yeah, that's a good place for it. I'm looking at this article here, and I'll just read out the headline because it doesn't bear reading more than this. Man and woman were once tied to each other for an entire year with an 8 foot length of rope.
I can't stand stunts like that. They drive me nuts.
I mean, the thing is, it's just like imagine like you've decided you're going to celebrate, right? Because you've had like a good day with the missus and she hasn't annoyed you, so you can have a curry, and then the morning after, like you're tugging on it. It's like, oh, stop tugging on the rope. It's like, look, love, I need the loo, and it's 4 in the morning, and she's like, I can't hold in. It's like, no, it's number two. I've got to go now, and it's like the 8 foot length of rope, and it's just is there, and she can smell it, and like, I'll tell you what. Would you not get bored of living in each other's pockets with an 8 foot length of rope? After a while, I think if I was the bloke, I'd just like, look, I can overpower this woman. I've got an 8 foot length of rope. That's enough to choke her with it.
Do you want? I'm not going to read it out, but first person, I told him it was in the wrong hole, but then I found out why.
Go on then.
You want this story? We haven't
Yeah.
we haven't done this since the JDLE days. Um, Not there. You did it again. I sat up and looked at him. His face was full of confusion, and I just couldn't understand why. I couldn't stop wondering that throughout the very awkward night, why was he so bad? I'm sorry, he mumbled, his face red from both workout and experiment. I was in the throes of what I was hoping would be passionate sex with Tom. When I found myself having to calmly guide my one night stand's penis into the... Oh, God, dirty bitch. Last thing I expected when I came home with this cute guy was to teach him how to have sex, but multiple times that night he kept accidentally inserting his penis into her butt. How slack is her butthole? I've got to ask.
Yeah, I was just accidentally doing it multiple
Yeah,
times.
yeah.
Once or twice you'd be like, "Oh, look, Dove, that's the wrong hole." But after the third time, it's like, "Hang
That
on."
sounds like a her problem.
Yeah,
Yeah, like I say, there's no way I could do that with my missus. Accidentally slip it in the wrong hole. Um, it was 2018. I was fresh out of a serious relationship. Harder during this time, I found intimacy to be comforting, so eventually downloaded dating apps. Blah blah blah. Saw Tom on Hinge. Blah blah blah. Simple hello. Blah blah blah. Organised drinks. Blah blah blah. Drank our pints. Blah blah blah. Laughed about episodes of Spaced. Okay, all right. Reached out my bed, pulled out a few condoms and threw them at Tipsy and Nonchalant. Oh, God, she's got her own condoms. Oh, grade A slag. And just,
this
oh,
woman.
no wonder her
Is
arse, no wonder her arsehole's as loose as her fanny. Jesus Christ.
is this a professional woman?
I don't know.
Oh, right. So I'm looking at Unexplained Mysteries top 10 mysterious, unexplained top 10 bizarre stories of last year, right? And number 8 is nonsensically narrow car. Do you remember when they're making like the super small Fiat Panda?
Uh,
It's 55 centimeters across. and the mechanic
Oh,
who
it
sits
was
in it.
because because he was a virgin. His dick kept going in a slack arsehole.
Uh,
Apparently.
uh, yeah. Uh, I'm thinking I'm going to click on this article, and it's one of those clickbait titles called "Five Incredibly Weird Things Photographed by Police." Oh,
Oh,
it's a
how about this one then,
fucking
Hobbit? What's the tiny European country that fits into the UK 1,521 times and there's no airport?
that's going to be Liechtenstein then.
Yes, correct. A Mundo.
Yeah,
It can
yeah,
fit into London 9 times.
yeah. Liechtenstein's pretty small.
Actually, it's not a country, it's a principality. Actually.
So there was this thing called the Holy Roman Empire, and it's Principality of Liechtenstein, and then the Holy Roman Empire like ceased to be. And I think it was sort of overlooked by other people, and they just sort of said, "Well, look, we're going to be our own sovereign country now," and they kind of are sovereign, but they're also like tied with Switzerland, and they're known for making high quality agricultural equipment and tools. So like, I think it's Hilter tools. Hilter, you know, the chainsaws and the screwdrivers and all that. Hilter. That's a Liechtenstein brand. So they're made in Liechtenstein. Uh,
Oh, there's a story here from the guy who. You know Nigel Farage and his cameos he keeps doing?
all right. Yeah.
It's the guy who sent the Watkins one. In the
Oh,
end, getting the shout out was disturbingly simple. Farage apparently failed to see through this frankly wafer thin disguise. And in the 27-second clip, talking about Ian Watkins, said, "Love these children. I'll be sorely missed by them forever. He will always hold a very special place in everybody's heart."
yes.
Did you see some of the stuff he was getting tricked with? Absolute. Like, from a man who thinks he's going to be the next Prime Minister? I don't fucking think so.
I think he's just a whore for money.
Yeah.
It'd be like, yeah. So shout out to Hermann Goering. Shout out to this whoever the sicko was involved in the creation of Daisy's Destruction. And that's their band name. Okay. Just a shout out to John Wayne Gacy. Uh, so basically, he's doing the same thing that Cobra was doing in Cameo, where he's giving people shout outs and they pay him what, 50 quid?
Mm.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's
Yeah, well done,
that's all
well
right.
done. You've made yourself look like an idiot, and yeah,
Well, you know, he's a whore. You pay him 50 quid and he'll say whatever you want, baby.
He'll do out for 50 quid. It's 98 quid for a cameo now, apparently.
Oh, shall I read this headline here? Real life James Bond jailed for 60 days for telling police his name. Oh, God, this sounds interesting. Um, the secret, the fictional British Secret Service agent James Bond needs no introduction. Well, no, he was real. He was either Christopher Lee. Well, my dad says Ian Fleming was James Bond, but I'm saying it was
Yeah.
Christopher Lee. Oh, and the other thing, you know, he's 007.
Mm.
John Dee, the spy master for Queen Elizabeth, he would sign his letters to us 007.
That's a weird thing. That's a weird sign off, isn't it?
Yeah, but so
Oh
originally
God,
invented.
he is risen indeed. Meet the hot priest enticing people to church this
No,
Easter.
Hemi, no. Let's do the James Bond
Yeah,
thing.
go
Let's
on
just do James Bond. So, originally invented in 1953 by Ian Fleming, the character went on to feature in a long series of movies. Did you know he went on a long series of movies? Well, I'm
then. No.
glad it said that.
What?
Which saw him,
This is the first I'm hearing about it.
and you'll never guess what, right?
Yeah.
It saw him played by prominent actors including Sean Connery, Roger Moore, and Daniel Craig. No, hang on, let's do this as Americans word. Daniel Craig.
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 Craig. They
Craig.
say Craig as well, don't they?
But we won't talk about Pierce Brosnan, which Christopher Lee himself said. Now, personally, Christopher Lee, I think Roger Moore was the best James Bond. But Christopher Lee said, according to Ian Fleming's vision, Pierce Brosnan was like that is James Bond.
Only he's got a big walking scar down his face. I don't know if you knew that from the books.
I've not read the books,
Yeah,
no, but I
apparently,
probably.
I haven't either. I went to a James Bond exhibition in
Mm.
Portsmouth once. Yeah, he's apparently in the books. He's got a big walking scar down right down his face. You know, like the German generals and all the films and that.
Do you think if you were going to do James Bond, would you make them in the modern era, or would you make them as a period drama, sort of featuring 1960s supervillains?
I think you'd have to because James Bond doesn't translate well to the Cold War. I mean, unless you're gonna unless the writers are good enough to write some really decent. James Bond now would be protecting like Google or something, wouldn't he? Do you know what I
But
mean?
the thing, like James Bond in the modern era, it'd just be like, well, look, we know about this terrorist who's working with Prevent,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
somehow he's built an underground volcanic lair in Edinburgh.
yeah,
But Prevent known about him
yeah.
and were
And they
working
knew
with
about
him.
the volcanic layer as well.
Yeah, which he said was just purely for research purposes.
Yeah.
They didn't ask what he was researching. He was researching a way to destroy the world, James Bond. So you got to put a stop to it. Just imagine sort of
Kapow!
James
Too
Bond.
late. Bang.
James Bond, he's got to do like a risk assessment for his upcoming mission, and he's got to put about how it will impact diversity because, you
He's
know.
also got to do the ecological survey of any fuel he uses.
Well, the other thing as well is he'll have to write about how it affects like species of endangered bats because if you blow up Edinburgh Castle, it might affect some bat species like with the HS2 tunnel. So anyway, James Bond. But James Bond is also a very real name. Did you know there's people called James and there's people called Bond? With
Really?
many
Wait,
people,
really?
yeah,
You mean such as the man whose name James Bond was named after, the ornithology guy?
yeah, yeah. So with many people around the world sharing the moniker of the world's most famous secret agent,
His name was
how can you be
Monica.
how can you be a famous secret agent? Isn't that an oxymoron?
Well, James Bond was because he didn't exactly try and disguise. I'm somebody from international exports. Well, not really. I'm James Bond. I just want to tell. I just want to tell
Look,
everyone.
I'm James Bond. I work with MI6, and I'm here
Yeah,
to kill some Russians, most
yeah.
likely. It's like, well, here you come in, Mr. Bond. Yeah, we know all about you. So, an example, burst in the curse, right?
Hey,
An
I've just
example
thought
of
of a
how,
really great James Bond story. I know it's
right.
completely preposterous, but you've got this guy that's kind of a nobody. Then he starts working at a school, and then he becomes like an international financier running a child paedophile ring.
Oh, wow. I don't know why we mentioned that. Oh.
But then James
So,
Bond's trying to solve the case, but all of his superiors are trying to stop him from looking into it.
and then when he gets the client list, there's nobody on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's a bit on the nose that story.
On the nose, what is it? Does it mirror current events or something?
It might be a bit of an anti-Semitic canard.
Yeah.
So an example of how it can be the latter was featured in a documentary, The Other Fellow,
Oh, first
which
James Bond was Bob. Bob, can I have a pee, please? Wholeness on Radio 4, according to Trafford Lee.
oh, what doing the radio play?
Was that before?
Um,
I thought David Niven was the first film James Bond, wasn't he?
can we? I'm
Do
very
you not
nearly
like
through.
James Bond facts or something, Hobbit? What are you, some sort of like foreign spy?
I like spooky airport facts, but I don't like James Bond facts,
Why do
and
you
it's
like
more a
James? There are
case of
loads of James Bond facts, and there are loads
it's
of them
more the
really
fact
interesting.
that it's 3 minutes past 9. I just want to get
Oh,
through this
okay.
article and then we can wrap it up. So, James
Oh,
Bond
it's
is
closing
also
time. You can't stay. You ain't got to go home, but you can't stay here. Is that what you're saying, Hobbit?
it's pretty much like I'm serving up the last pints in the pub now, and the till's getting closed.
Yeah.
So, an example of how it can be the latter was featured in the documentary The Other Fellow, which is all about the phenomenon of people sharing the name of James Bond. On this occasion, a man from Indiana, whose name is James Bond Jr., had been pulled over by police one day and was asked to provide some identification.
Well, fuck all those cunts.
Well, we haven't got a bell.
Ex-
We haven't got a bell to ring, Hobbit, so that'll have to be last orders.
Oh, you know what? We're going to have to get a bell sound effect on me. Last orders, please.
Yeah.
Which he didn't have on him. When it got to me, I was like, "My name is James Bond," he recalled. Now, hang on, let's do this in his voice. When he got to me, I was like, "What up, YouTube? My name is James Bond," he recalled. The officer
This
looked
week
at me.
I'm going to have some Pringle.
I'm going to give you one more chance to tell me the truth, or you're going to get tased in the balls. No, my name is James Bond. Incredibly, Bond ended up being charged and had to serve 60 days in jail.
Actually, if you want to do some true crime Thursday, there is a couple of really good like hoax spies that are worth doing.
Oh, actually, can we do the one in Oxford who worked at the whiskey shop and claimed he was working with MI5, but actually was just conning women out money?
Yes, is that? I think that's the same one I was thinking of. Should we do? Should we
Yeah,
do him on
okay,
Thursday?
yeah, that's a good Thursday one. There we go,
Yeah.
right. So, so an example of how it can be. Yes, he said, incredibly, Bond ended up being charged and had to serve 60 days in jail. The judge says I was obstructing the police officer from doing his job by me saying my name in a joking manner. He said, I looked at the judge like, are you serious? How can I say James Bond in a joking manner and just said my name? I had to do like 60 days in a county jail for that. 60 days. You know what? This guy deserves 60 days in jail for that. That right there. In that instance, maybe look at police in a different way. I rate them 5 out of 10. Pretty good, you know. I don't think I'll be trying them again. And on that bombshell, James Bond, your mission has ended.
So I've put the bit in to remind us what we're doing Thursday.
Excellent. Yeah, let's talk about the whiskey shop.
Pretty sure there's another one like that. We could do that other one about that schoolgirl that tried to get her mate to murder her.
I was going to say not the schoolgirl that convinced people she was a boy. Well, convinced girls that she was a boy, and no, we did that in JJLE anyway.
Yeah. And anyway, that wasn't me. That's not me.
Anyway, that was somebody else. I'd never do a shit in the Tesco's in Aintree, Ashford.
Ashford.
I wasn't wanking over the Tesco's finest clotted cream. I never was. There was never me anyway.
That wasn't me.
No, that was someone else.
Right. Anyway, that's it. Anyway, that's us. That's
I
not
never
us.
killed John F. Kennedy. I wasn't even born then. I never
I
was.
never was. That wasn't me.
I never would do such a thing.
Oh yeah, Trafford Lee said, "Can I have an E, please, Bob?" Do you remember when it used to be, "Can I have a P, please, Bob?" To
Yeah,
can I have an
but
E,
E
please, Bob?
because drugs. The 90s. Am I
Because
right?
drugs are funny. Am I right?
Fellow Gen Xers.
Yeah.
I'm not even Gen X.
Oh,
I'm younger.
do you remember how good programming was back then? You'd have actually like the questions I used to ask on fucking Bob Olness, and now it's just like, "Do you know what happened in EastEnders?"
Do you remember when we had a functioning society and people were nice and you
Yeah,
could leave your doors open?
yeah.
Do you remember stuff? Do you remember when things happened
Do you
and they
remember
were
when?
nice?
Do you remember when your granny used to use cassette tapes? Do you remember that? Do you remember
Do,
that?
do you remember cigarettes? Do you remember when you could call cigarettes fags and you wouldn't
Yeah,
get in trouble for it? Do you remember when you could say what we're having for tea tonight and you'd say, well,
yeah,
we're having faggots and peas?
yeah.
Do you remember that?
Do you remember
Do you
that?
remember when we could say things?
Anyway, that's us. That's not us.
Faggots!
Anyway, that's not
Fags!
us. We wouldn't do things like
You
that.
can't whack a tab. I'll have a pint.
Yeah. Good night. Stay spooky.
Woo!